in San Diego on Tuesday night. 4-1 loss, but again, he pitched well. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs on 8 hits. He walked only 1. He struck out 3. Here we go. Brandon Nimmo will lead things off for the Rangers. Brian looks in, has a sign from Mitch Garver doing the catching this afternoon. Here's the windup and the first pitch on the way. Swinging a line drive into right field for a base hit, and there's career hit number 1,001 for Brandon Nimmo on the first pitch from Brian Wu. He got his 1,000th career base hit with a 2-out single in the top of the 8th inning, and there goes the no-hitter I predicted for Brandon Wu.
Yeah, it didn't last long, did it?
Yeah, way to go, Brandon Nimmo. Well, he's going to throw a one-hitter. Here's Corey Seager, batting .208 on the year, 5 home runs and 12 runs batted in. You're going to see the Rangers hitters be very aggressive early in the count. Wu throws a ton of strikes. The pitch to Seager, and he takes it because it's way inside off the plate for ball 1.
It's always an interesting matchup when you have teams facing pitchers they just saw roughly a week ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long.
That was on April the 8th down in Arlington. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's inside on Seager. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Texas won that game against Bryan 3-0. Wu went 5 innings. They made him work. Gave up 3 runs. Only 1 was earned, though. He walked 2, and he struck out 2. Seager, left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch to him. And the next offer is inside. Ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. And now Mitch Garver wants to challenge him. So Garver doing the catching. We got our first ABS challenge. And let's see, and it is a strike. And Mitch, great call, wins the challenge. And the count is 2-1 instead of 3-0. So Garver behind the plate this afternoon as Cal is the designated hitter. Brian, little peek over his shoulder at the runner at first, Nimmo. Now the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch on the way to Seager. Swinging a chopper fouled away on the first base side. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kind of lined up really nicely on a Sunday day game after a night game against a lefty. So a natural spot to have Garver catch and Cal DH.
Give Cal a little bit of a breather as the DH today. Get Garver in there as well. Needs to get his at-bats early in the season. Now the stretch by Brian, and the 2-2. Check swing. Does he go? He does not. Ball 3. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Brian, in those 4 starts on the season, hasn't been getting a lot of offensive support. He's got that sparkling ERA at 2.16. There goes the runner. Pitch on the way. Swinging a pop-up. Foul on the third base side over Leo Rivas near the coach's box, shading his eyes with his glove, and he makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Nimmo was running with a pitch. He turns around and heads on back to first base. So Corey Seager pops it up. 1 on and 1 away. Just underway, no score, and that'll bring up left fielder Wyatt Langford. Brian Wu. In 4 starts against the Rangers since the start of last year, he is 2-1 against Texas with a 0.74 ERA. So he's pitched very well against the Rangers, including that last start. Here's the pitch to Langford. It's over for a strike, 0-1. By the way, the home plate umpire this afternoon is Stu Sherwater, calling balls and strikes. Junior Valentine's at first, Jordan Baker at second, Rob Drake is your umpire at third base. Plenty of sunshine. The roof is open. Nice crowd on Little League Day, our second one already of the year. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Wide of third. Taken by Leo. Down to second. There's 1. Cole's throw to first in time. Double play. Around the horn. 5-4-3. Nicely turned by the Mariners, and that's going to retire the side for the Texas Rangers. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on. Underway here at T-Mobile Park on a beautiful Sunday. We go to the bottom of the first. Our Mechanics Bank score, the Rangers nothing, and the Mariners coming up.
Show your Mariners pride with the new Mariners credit card. Get cash back on everyday purchases, discounts on tickets, and chances to win cool fan experiences. Presented by Global Credit Union, proud partner of the Seattle Mariners. Membership required. Terms and conditions apply, subject to credit approval.
A legendary night for a legendary arm. The one and only Randy Johnson.
Swing and a miss. He's got number 14.
See the big unit make more Mariners history on Saturday, May 2nd, as his number 51 is retired at T-Mobile Park. The first Mariners pitcher to throw a no-hitter.
Randy looks to the skies. That is covered by the dome and bedlam.
win the Cy Young Award.
And there's 19. That is a new American League record by a left-hander.
And be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
The trade to Seattle set my career in motion.
He was dominant. He was intimidating. He was electric. Join us in celebrating the big unit for 2 great nights presented by T-Mobile. Friday, May 1st. Score your own number 51 on Randy Johnson 80s Jersey Night. And be there Saturday, May 2nd for Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night.
Very proud to have played there for 10 years. Thank you, Seattle.
Get your tickets at mariners.com/big unit.
Hey parents, hey students, Washington has some of the most generous college financial aid in the country, and the Mariners want to help you tap into it. April 20th, come to T-Mobile Park for Fund Your Future, a student resource fair during the Mariners game against the Athletics. Meet experts on the concourse who can help you with your FAFSA or WASFA, and learn about the Washington College Grant, money that can help you pay for career training, college, or an apprenticeship. Learn more on how to apply and get the game details at mariners.com/fundyourfuture.
Our Mechanics Bank score, the Rangers nothing, and the Mariners coming up here in the bottom of the first inning to take a look at veteran left-hander Mackenzie Gore, 2-1 with a 3.00 ERA, making his 5th start of the year and his 2nd against Seattle this year. Rob Refsnyder will lead things off with a swing and a drive deep to left field, going and going. Goodbye baseball. Rob Refsnyder, his first base hit in a Mariners uniform, pumping his fists in the air, rounding second, is a home run to straightaway left field. That's the way to get off the schneid. Rob Refsnyder with a leadoff home run on the very first pitch from Mackenzie Gore, and it gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead as Refsnyder parks that pitch into the Ranger bullpen. And yes, indeed, welcome to Seattle, Rob Refsnyder. He's known for hitting lefties, but there's his first base hit of the season, a home run to left field for the new dad. Here's Cal Raleigh, and the pitch to Cal swinging a line shot center field over his Carter. He's there to make the catch, so Cal first ball swinging. So we're off to a rousing start, 1-0 Mariners lead.
That one's got to feel great. He's been waiting on that one. He parks it off a tough lefty, too. What a great start to this game for the Mariners.
So he's got that new dad strength. He was on the paternity list for a few days. So he's a new papa, and in his first start back, he hits a home run to left field for his first hit of the season. Here's Julio. 1 out, nobody on, a 1-0 Mariner lead. That's the way to get the crowd in the game. Pitch on the way to Julio is a strike, 0-1. Mackenzie Gore, 27 years of age with the Nationals last year, was 5-15 with a 4.17 ERA, made 30 starts, an all-star last season. Here's the pitch on the way to Julio, breaking ball for a strike, and the count is now 0-2. The Rangers making a big trade with the Nationals on January the 22nd, as the Rangers sending 5 prospects over to the Nationals to pick up Gore. Here's the pitch. Swinging a hard hit ground ball foul in front of the Rangers third base dugout, and the count is 0-2. We got to go back and take a look at how many players have led off a game with a home run in Mariners history. I'm sure it's a pretty good list. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's way outside to Julio for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But the Mariners jumpstart the offense with the home run by Refsnyder, who was with Boston last year. He had 9 home runs. Outfield for the Rangers straight away. Pitch on the way to Julio. Swinging a broken bat line drive to the second baseman. Smith to his left, and he makes the catch. So the Mariners have 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Well, time now for the roof report from 3 Tree Roofing. And the roof here at T-Mobile Park is wide open on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Seattle. Blue skies above, beautiful green grass, a plain surface. The roof report is brought to you by 3 Tree Roofing, the #1 roofer in Washington. Go to 3treeroofing.com for a free estimate today. Here's Randy Rosarena. He takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Randy off to a good start, hitting .282, a home run, and 7 runs batted in. Last homestand against the Astros, parked one into the upper deck in left field. Gore, a tall lefty, fires away. Fastball for a strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yes, indeed, Little League Day. The kids having a good time. Mariners drew a great crowd last night, 45,000 fans. for last night's game. Huge win for the Mariners. Now time is called. And we got a pitch infraction charged to Gore. So a pitch timer infraction, and so the count is 2-1 on Randy Arozarena. Gore taking too much time. Stu Sherwater making the call. Now the 2-1 pitch to Randy. Swing and a miss. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On deck for the Mariners, catcher Mitch Garver. Carlos Cardoza coaching over at third base. E. White Jr. at first. The windup in the 2-2 to Randy. Swinging a foul ball out of play on the first base side. And the count is still even at 2-2. Gary, I'm sure you got some great memories playing Little League baseball growing up in Tacoma. A lot of fun as a kid. Here's the windup, and again the 2-2 to Randy. Swinging a ground ball foul past Cardoza at third. No, he makes a nice stop. Way to go, Carlos.
Yeah, it was incredible. I was just thinking about the Little Leaguers on the field just now. How big this field would seem for them.
Then to go there, Little League field.
Yes, a little different.
Yeah. Here's the windup of the 2-2 again to Randy. Check, swing, pitch down and in. Did he go? Yes, he did for strike 3. Could not hold up on the curveball, and that's going to retire the side. However, the Mariners get 1 run on 1 big hit. Rob Refsnyder's leadoff home run, his first hit of the season. How about that? We go to the top half of the second. Our score, the Mariners 1 and the Rangers nothing. Well, the Mariners lead the Rangers 1-0, top half of the second, and Jake Berger leads it off. Brian Wu takes that big sigh up on the hill, the windup and the pitch. Berger swinging a broken back ground ball to third, right there to gobble it up. Leo Rivas fires across in time to get Berger 1 pitch and 1 away. And once again, another Ranger jumping on that first pitch, or trying to hit that first pitch from Brian Wu. That'll bring up designated hitter Jock Peterson. Well, time now for this afternoon's Men of Steel report, brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. How about Rob Refsnyder with his very first career leadoff home run and his first hit in a Mariners uniform, and it comes here against the Texas Rangers, giving the Mariners a 1-0 lead. Way to go, Rob. Just became a new dad again a few days ago. Welcome back, buddy. Here's Peterson hitting now .244 in the year, home run, 3 RBIs. Brian from the belt. And the right-hander's pitch on the way. Peterson takes outside for ball 1.
The only issue with being aggressive against Wu is if you're just grounding out and making quick outs, it can be a real problem.
Yeah.
It means Wu can go super deep into the ball game.
Early outs, early counts. Here's the pitch on the way to Peterson, swinging a foul back, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. By the way, today's Men of Steel report brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Visit SteelUSA.com or your local Steel dealer today. No, you're right. He threw only 9 pitches in the first inning. The look in by Brian. And now the right-hander is 1-1 on the way. Strike 2 called. 1-2 the count on Peterson. And when you can do that, pitch of contact, soft contact, get people out. You got a chance to pitch into the 7th inning, maybe even longer a few times along the way. He was 15-7 last year with a 2.94 ERA. His all-star year made 30 starts. Here's the pitch. Low and outside to Peterson. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He started the year with 25 consecutive starts, going 6 or more innings pitched, and 2 or fewer walks. He had 27 starts on the year out of his 30, where he went 6+. Swinging a line drive right to third baseman Leo Rivas, playing way off the bag. Peterson lines out to Rivas for the second out of the inning. So the Mariners had Leo placed perfectly, well off the bag at third for Peterson, a left-handed hitter. So 2 up and 2 down, 1-0 Mariners. If you just tuned in on the home run by Rep Snyder.
That was a scout out right there.
Yes, no doubt. Here's Josh Young. Big night last night, 2 for 4, a home run. Strong right-handed hitter, Brian Reddy, leg kick, delivers, swing, and a foul back. Man, he takes a cut at a pitch. And the count is now 0-1. Young batting .303 to start the year for the Rangers with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Mariners that huge win last night, snapping a 4-game losing streak. Losing 3 in San Diego, losing the opener here to Texas 2 nights ago. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball. And the count is now 0-2. There's that 4-seamer that rides up and into a right-handed hitter. Now Young wants time. He's got that 2-seamer, which was really effective to left-handed hitters. It starts off the plate, comes back over the inside corner. Brian Reddy, young man out of Alameda, California, the Bay Area. Outfield for the Mariners straight away. The windup and the 0-2 on the way to Young. And it's high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brian's mom and dad here at the ballpark this afternoon.
JP thought that was a strike. He was on his way to the dugout. He may have been right, too. It looked like it may have clipped the corner.
He's got a good view. So does Cole Young, playing near the bag at second. Now the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is high, but it's going to be challenged by Mitch Garver. Garver says it's going to be a strike. Right now, the count 2-2. Let's see if Garver wins again. This is his second challenge, and it is strike 3. So Mitch Garver is 2 for 2 on ABS challenges. Josh Young strikes out. And that's the first strikeout for Brian Wu this afternoon. 1-2-3 go the Rangers. And a heck of a challenge right there by Mitch Garver. We go to the bottom of the second. Our score, the Mariners 1 and the Rangers 0. Our Mechanics Bank score, the Mariners won, the Rangers nothing. Bottom half of the second, and Mitch Garver leads it off. Mackenzie Gore fires away. It's a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Garver, Connor Joe, and J.P. Crawford. Some right-handed bats in the lineup for Gore, the left-hander, out of Whiteville, North Carolina. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's inside on Garver for ball one. 1-1 strike. First round pick in June of 2017, originally by the San Diego Padres. And traded away to the Nationals. Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch. Up and in on Mitch for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. But he's off to a nice start with his new ball club, the Texas Rangers. Gore's roughest start was in his last outing. Here's the windup and the 2-1 on the way to Mitch, swinging a foul back, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. On this road trip in Sacramento, he lost 2-1 to the A's. We'll see the A's tomorrow night here at T-Mobile Park. But Gore went just 4 2/3 innings and gave up 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits with 6 walks. Here's the windup and the pitch. High and outside to Garver, ball 3. 3-2 the count, so that was his problem. In his last outing, he struck out 5, but the 6 walks. And the A's won 2-1. Gore rubs a wrinkle into a new baseball. Garver waits. Now the stretch and the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul. Out by the Rangers' third base dugout. The count is still 3-2.
An unusual start, certainly for him. His addition has made this Texas rotation excellent, especially with health. That's kind of the question when you talk about Evaldi and DeGrom, but when they're healthy, they're excellent.
Yeah, now you got Jack Leiter in their rotation. Talented kid. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's down low to Garver for ball 4. So Mitch, a great at bat. He draws the leadoff walk. 1 on with nobody out, and that'll bring up first baseman Connor Joe. Say, friends, when considering a Volvo, people should come to Sandberg Volvo Cars in Linwood to experience the Sandberg difference. The only Excellence Award winner and family-owned and operated Volvo dealership in the Northwest. You're going to come in as a friend and leave as a member of the family with a great car. See great reviews at SandbergVolvoCars.com. Here's Connor Joe. The pitch to Connor. Swinging a foul back, 0-1. Connor looking for his first base hit in a Mariners uniform. Started the year down at AAA Tacoma. Came up right away. Had a really good spring. Spent time with the Padres and the Reds last year. Mitchell lead, pitch to Joe, and it's down low, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Connor with Cincinnati last year at .213, no home runs and 4 runs batted in. Strong right-handed hitter. Now the look in by Gore in the lefties. 1-1 pitch to Connor, way outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Well, it is Little League Day again here at T-Mobile Park, and I was talking with Mariner manager Dan Wilson. I said, Danny, tell me about your best experience as a kid growing up in a Chicago suburb, Barrington Hills, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Here's the stretch and the pitch to Connor. Strike on the inside corner. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was on a Little League team that went to the Little League World Series in 1981, and Danny was 11 or 12 years old at the time. And they finished 3rd in the country, 3rd in the World Series. They won their first game against a team out of San Diego. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike 3 called. Joe caught looking. So strikeout number 2 for Gore. And the Mariners have 1 on with 1 away. So they won their first game against San Diego. Second game, they played a team from Tampa. Here comes J.P. Crawford. And that featured a kid by the name of Derek Bell, who would later make it to the big leagues and have a really nice career. Danny was the only major leaguer on his Little League team that made it from that ball club. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to J.P. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. He said they were trailing in that game against Tampa. But in the 6th inning, the last inning, they had 7 consecutive hits. And this kid was rounding 3rd, heading home, getting ready to score the tying run of the game. Here's a toss to first base, and Garver gets back. And he was thrown out at home for the last out of the game, and they ended up losing to Tampa. I said, who was the third base coach that sent him? He said, that was my dad. My dad. He said, I didn't talk to my dad for a week. Here's the stretch of the pitch on the way. JP takes a strike, and the count is now 0-2. But what a thrill for a young Dan Wilson, aged 11, 12 years old, to go to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, finished in third. They won their next game to finish in third. Now the look in by Gore, and the lefty is 0-2 to JP, swinging a foul out of play behind the plate, and the count is still 0-2. And Gary, you and I and everybody, we had a tremendous thrill last year. We were in New York, then we went to Williamsport to play the Mets in a game in Williamsport, where the Washington Nationals, by the way, have their Class A ball club. The stretch of the pitch to JP, swinging a drive deep to right field. Nimmo going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. JP Crawford with a line drive, 2-run home run into the lower deck in right field. His first home run of the season. Second of the game for the Mariners off of Gore, and the Mariners now have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of inning number 2. What an at-bat for J.P. Crawford. It came on an 0-2 pitch. J.P. dances across home plate. High fives from his teammates. He's going to get the trident from Julio Rodriguez. And he shows the trident to the crowd behind the first base dugout. 3-0 Mariners. J.P. with a 2-run shot.
Lefty on lefty.
Yeah. Good point. Here's Cole Young, another left-handed bat. And the pitch to Cole is low and inside for ball 1. Yeah, they're tough to do. But JP hung in there on an 0-2 pitch and cranked it out of here to right field. Here's the pitch to Young. Swing and a foul back. He took a nice rip. Cole, early in the year, Gary, he was hitting very well against left-handed pitching. That was a big home run by JP on the heels of Refsnyder's leadoff home run in the first inning. Next offer on the way, swinging a bounce foul on the first base side. And the count is 1-2 on Cole. Young steps back in. Young is hitting now .300 against left-handed pitching. He's 12 for 20 with a home run against a lefty and 5 runs batted in. Now the stretch by the left-hander Gore. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive the other way to left field for a base hit. That is sizzled by the third baseman Josh Young into left. Cole Young just going the other way and hit it hard into left field. So 1 on with 1 away, and that'll bring up third baseman Leo Rivas. Yeah, this is a good sight to see, Gary. Mariners getting to Gore early in this game.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, the Rangers bullpen has had to work a ton on this road trip.
Yeah.
They got a little time off yesterday because of Quantrill soaked up a lot of pitches, but getting to Gore early is pretty enormous for the Mariners.
Here's Leo Rivas, the pitch, swinging a fly ball into straightaway center field, fairly deep, going back harder, shading his eyes near the warning track, and he's there to make the catch. Leo gives it a good ride, but that is out number 2. Young back to first base. That'll bring up Rob Refsnyder, who jumped on Mackenzie Gore's first pitch of the afternoon and whacked a home run to left field into the Rangers bullpen. His first hit as a Mariner, first home run. So here's Refsnyder all ready for his second at bat. Bottom of the second, 3-0 Mariners lead. The stretch. And the pitch to Refsnyder. Over for a strike, 0-1. Refsnyder spending some time with the Boston Red Sox the last 4 years. Originally drafted by the Yankees out of the University of Arizona. The pitch on the way to Rob, and it's low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Refsnyder looked down at third base coach Carlos Cardoza with Cal Raleigh due up next. Young, a lead at first, had his first stolen base of the year in last night's game. The pitch on the way, swinging a broken bat looper into shallow right field. Going to be a problem. Falling fast, but coming in, the right fielder Nimmo, and Nimmo gets there in time to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Well, the Mariners get a couple on the J.P. Crawford home run to right, his first home run of the season. We go to the top of the third. Our score, the Mariners 3 and the Rangers 0.
Well, great start to this one for the Mariners. A 3-0 lead, your Mechanics Bank score. Here's Evan Carter to lead things off for the Rangers. Wu steps into the pitch. He delivers. Swung on and missed. Really took some off on a sweeper. Looked like Carter was expecting fastball. Wu's been very efficient so far. That was just pitch number 20. He's allowed one single. That's been it. First pitch of the game. He's retired the next 5. He deals. Tried a slider this time. That was low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wu, a great start to the season for the Mariners. Standing in the bright sunshine here at T-Mobile Park. He goes into the motion. He deals 1-1. Swung on. A slow roller right to second base. Picked up by Cole Young. Fires to first to get the out. He's retired 6 hitters in a row. 1 down here in the 3rd. As we take a look at our premium matchup presented by Alaska Airlines, the official airline of the Seattle Mariners, and your new gateway to the world. Experience a new level of comfort aboard Alaska's new 787 Dreamliner, flying nonstop to top destinations around the globe. Josh Smith will bat. Wu kicks, deals. He sends it over for a strike, and this pitching matchup certainly premium. A rematch, Wu and Gore. And right now, the Mariners getting the best of things. 3 runs on the board for the Mariners. A couple of homers already. Here's the 0-1. It's a strike. Wu has just continued his dominance. If you look at since 2024 and combine everything since then for pitchers with at least 50 starts since the beginning of 24. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on, hot shot right to third base. Scooped up by Rivas, sets his feet, throws low, but scooped out by Joe. And then Wu has 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Wu has the 7th lowest ERA since the beginning of 2024. 2.86 ERA. I mean, the guys ahead of him, it's Skeen, Skubal, Sale, Yamamoto, Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez. It's a great list to be a part of.
It is something. I mean, last year 30 starts at a 2.94 earned run average.
Here's Jansen, the pitch. And it's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And he's picked up just exactly where he's left off. This year, an ERA a touch over 2 and 4 starts. He winds, delivers 1-0. Swung on, fouled back to the netting.
Is Brian Wu the best 6th-round pick in the history of the Seattle Mariners in 50 years?
Yeah. It is amazing to think about how that all developed.
Yeah.
You know, just a really injury-riddled career in college at Cal Poly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's high. And it's really a testament to the Mariners draft process where they get input from a lot of different areas of the organization. It was Trent Blank really driving the train for Wu.
And he said he just saw a grainy video of Brian pitching in college. And from that, he said, we got to draft this guy.
The 2-1 is swung on and popped up out of play. As the story goes, Trent Blank told everyone in the organization that he would take Wu 1-1 in the draft. Pounded the table for him.
He's right.
He was right.
And when the organization looks at that conviction from Trent Blank, who knows a lot about pitching, along with Pete Woodworth, I'm glad they listened to him.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wu into the motion. The pitch. Swung on and missed. He goes down a 96-mile-per-hour heater. Wu gets the punch out. He's retired 8 in a row, and he is dealing. 3 up, 3 down here in the 3rd. We head to the bottom of the inning. 3-0 Mariners on the Mariners Radio Network.
emotion. Talking bad on your exes, say he need exorcist. And you got your textures in texture tints. Can't see my regrets in this. I was venting, AC in your messages. And so-called dreams, you was wetting them. And this split so deep, this honey that you blessed me with. So sweet, I need to check my grip. Reality switch, that's risky. How you go flip it this dick, then you miss me. Mystic Prince must have mixed up this medley. From an amberosa sinuette. Who this, who that, I'ma say now you're rolling up. For your dread. Text me, heading up. It's from an amberosa sinuette. She live for free in my head. Now you're rolling up. For your dread. She live for free, she a tenant up.
Randy turned around a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right here. It's up and in, and man, he turned on it, drilled it down that left field line, so the Mariners have a chance to add on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nice swing by Randy.
That's 113 off the bat. Laser. So here's Garver. As we mentioned, walked his first time, scored on the JP homer. Base hit. We get another one here. Mariners on top 3-0. Looking for more. Of course, pitch. He sends it up and away. Rangers wearing their royal blue uniform tops, blue caps, gray pants as he comes set at the chest, looks at second, delivers. Swung on and missed. A curveball dancing down in the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner at second base. 3 earned runs matches the most that Gore has given up in a start this season. The 1-1 in the dirt, smothered by Jansen, keeps it in front, and Randy stays at second base. He gave up 3 earned runs in a start against the Reds earlier this month and happened to give up 2 home runs in that game. The only 2 runs he had allowed this season coming into today. The Mariners fit 2 off him today. Here's the 2-1. Just inside. And Garver has worked to a good count. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch count continues to climb. He's near 60. Connor Joe on deck. Gore's 3-1. Swung on, popped up. That's out of play behind home plate. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Randy, a decent lead at second base. Gore stares at him. Now the 3-2. Swung on a miss. Went upstairs on a cutter. He swings through. That's the 4th strikeout for Gore, and the Mariners are turned away here in the 3rd. So we'll move along to the 4th. Mariners with the lead. It's 3-0 on the Mariners Radio Network. He gave up a single on his very first pitch. Since then, nothing. He's facing the minimum thanks to a double play that ended the first inning after that hit. So Nimmo, who has the hit, will bat here to lead off the 4th. Mariners 2 home runs today, Ref Snyder and J.P. Crawford. Woo's first pitch, here it is. Swung on, little slow roller to second base. Young scoops it up, fires to first. 1 pitch, 1 away. That's 9 in a row put down by Woo. Let's pause for station identification on the Mariners Radio Network. Here's Seager. Woo's pitch. Swung on, popped up. That's out of play. The Rangers continue to be aggressive. So far, it has not worked out. Woo at 32 pitches. So not only has he been excellent, he's been really efficient.
23 strikes, Gary.
Yeah.
And those 32 pitches.
The 0-1. Swung on, ground ball, foul. And with Woo, it's always about the quality of strikes too. You can just see where he puts the ball, and it's seemingly upper part of the zone, upper rail of the strike zone, on the corners, just living on edges. Into the wind, the 0-2. He puts this in the dirt, no chase. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 4th inning. We take a look at the Chevy Equinox scoreboard. The Cardinals trying to sweep the Astros today in Houston. Cardinals have taken the first 2 games of the series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Into the wind, the pitch. Swung on, foul back to the screen. Yordan Alvarez hit his 10th home run of the season. He's the first in baseball to double figures. Astros were trailing 4-2 late in the game, but they scored 3 runs in the 8th. So it's 4-4. They're going to extra innings in Houston. Here comes the 1-2. Did he go around? He did not. So a slider that misses. The Astros once again did not get lengths from their starter, less than 5 innings. The Astros have more starts of fewer than 5 innings than more than 5 innings this season. The 2-2. Yeah, he goes. Strike 3. Tried to hold. That was a changeup that danced in the dirt. Seager swings. That's the 3rd strikeout for Wu.
Bryant, since giving up that leadoff single to start the game to Nimmo, now has retired the last 10 in a row.
He's in a groove. Here's Langford. He bounced into a double play in the first inning. A 9-pitch first inning for Wu. Bryant into the motion. He offers. He sends it inside. One of the few times he hasn't been ahead in the count. It was 97 just off the plate. Wu sliding out of the head. Goes into the motion. Deals. Swung on, popped up, out of play. So count even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Gary, if you were a major league umpire, home plate umpire, you'd want to be behind home plate with Brian Wu and George Kirby.
Absolutely. Always around the plate.
A lot of strikes.
Wu winds, delivers. Swung on and missed. Just blew the 4-seam by him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking to make it another 1-2-3 inning. There's so much movement on that pitch. It starts over the middle and just tailed into the upper corner. Ends up in the perfect spot. And, oh yeah, at 97 miles per hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wu. The 1-2. Upstairs. This one left above the zone. No chase that time. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wu has been dominant so far today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wu goes into the motion. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. A thing of beauty. A 2-seam. Ripped it right by Langford. He swings and misses. Strikeout number 4 for Brian Wu. He's retired 11 Rangers in a row. He's dealing today, and he's kept the Rangers scoreless through 4. We head to the bottom of the inning. Mariners leading. It's 3-0 on the Mariners Radio Network. Tim's looking for a series win if they can get today. So far, so good. A 3-0 lead. Joe struck out his first time. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Big rip. 1 balls, 2 strikes. Mariners getting a leadoff home run from Rob Refsnyder in the first. A 2-run home run, J.P. Crawford in the second. Joe down in the count, the 0-2. Watches it all the way in, that's low. Joe getting the start at first base with the lefty on the hill. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on, slashed foul, out of play. First base side. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Just outside. Joe, he just checked his swing. Nearly lunged after it, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Meanwhile, an update on our Chevy Equinox scoreboard. The Cardinals have taken a 7-4 lead in the 10th against the Astros. A bases clearing double. The pitch. Outside. Good fight here by Joe. He's fought full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, hit hard down the third base line. It's a fair ball. It hits the umpire. The umpire falls. Joe takes a turnaround first. He will be held to a single. It would have been a short double, but it clipped the third base umpire. He tried to jump out of the way, couldn't quite get there. So that takes away an extra base from Connor Joe.
That's Rob Drake, who went right over the bag and hit him right on the left foot. He was trying to jump over it, then he fell on his back. Yeah, if it doesn't hit Drake, it's an easy double for Joe. But what a break for the Rangers right there, because Josh Young was able to go get it, but Drake couldn't get out of the way.
Well, that brings up J.P. Crawford. Hopefully that won't cost the Mariners. Gore creeping near 70 pitches. Again, the Mariners have done a good job with the starter pitch count. Here's the offer. Swung on, tag, center field, hit well. Evan Carter racing back. He's on the track. Sunshine out the glasses, reaches up, makes the catch just in front of the wall. And Joe has to retreat back to first base. So already it cost the Mariners. That probably would have been enough to get Joe to third. So instead of having a runner on third base with 1 out, they have a runner on first base with 1 out. As JP gave that a pretty good ride again. Here's Cole Young. He picked up a base hit his first time. Had 2 hits last night. Here comes the pitch. And that's a strike.
Yeah, those are things that are lost in the scorecard, because a runner on at third base with 1 out, all it takes is a fly ball to get you a run.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. What a great day for baseball here at T-Mobile Park. Temperatures near 70 degrees, sunshine. Mariners a 3-0 lead. Perfect day. Throw to first base. Joe scrambles back to the bag. Mariners 3 runs, 5 hits already off Gore. The lefty set from the chest. Here comes his offer to Cole Young. In the dirt. That nearly gets away from Jansen, who snares it off the dirt. So Young in the driver's seat. 2 balls, 1 strike. This will be pitch number 70 for Gore. As the organ bellows through the ballpark. It's a nice sound on a Sunday.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brings back some great memories at Wrigley Field.
The 2-1. Swung on, foul back to the netting. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Or Comiskey Park. Nancy Faust was a longtime organist. Park, the 200 level in the back playing the organ. We could go stop on by, say hello. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe is lead at first base. Here's the offer.
Down low. Nice job by Cole Young. He has fought full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Scores 3-2. Swung on a miss. He gets Young to swing through. That's the second out. 5th strikeout for Gore. Hey, cheers to 50 seasons. Enter now to win a chance to attend Seattle Mariners 50 season celebration night thanks to Corona. Head to cbisweeps.com/Corona Mariners 50 seasons to learn more. No purchase necessary. Corona Extra Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Here's Rivas. We got Connor Joe at first base. Rivas flew to center his first time. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Line drive left field right at Langford. 1 step in. He leans over, makes the catch. And that's the 3rd out. So lead off what should have been double. Turns into nothing for the Mariners here in the 4th. We head to the 5th. It's 3-0. Mariners with the lead on the Mariners Radio Network.
Counting up bands, never taking a day off. Racks in my hand, yeah, you know we gon' play hard. Grinding all night, yeah, I'm never gon' fall off. Hustle stay strong, this money gon' stay up. Pocket so fat, I ain't asking what it cost. Came for nothing, now I'm living like a boss. Haters gon' hate when they see you really chug. Ain't about no paper, I don't wanna be involved. Counting up bands, never taking a day off. Racks in my hand, yeah, you know we gon' play hard. Grinding all night, yeah, I'm never gon' fall off. Hustle stay strong, this money gon' stay up. Pocket so fat, I ain't asking what it cost. Came for nothing, now I'm living like a boss. Haters gon' hate when
1 hit, and that was a leadoff single to Brandon Nimmo to start things off. The first pitch of the game. Since then, Brian has retired 11 batters in a row. Jake Berger will lead off the top of the 5th inning. Here we go, the windup and the pitch to Berger. Strike called, 0-1. Brian has been a strike-throwing machine. He has 4 strikeouts along the way. After that base hit by Nimmo, there was 1 out, and Langford hit into a 5-4-3 double play. So Wu has faced the minimum through 4 innings. Next pitch on the way to Berger, and it's outside for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Man, it's so much fun to watch this kid pitch. He has come a long way in a short period of time. All-star last season, the windup and the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Went after a fastball at 97. And Brian, with that low release, that four-seamer is so good, it looks like it rises up and in to a right-handed hitter. We saw that in a pitch to Wyatt Langford in the 4th inning. And such a great pitch for him, along with the two-seamer. And the sweeper, the windup, and the 1-2 on the way to Berger. Swing and a foul, got a piece of a fastball. And the count is still 1-2. Texas Rangers last year, 500 ball club. They were 81-81, 3rd place in the West, 9 out. Mariners winning the West for the first time since 2001. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Berger for strike 3. There's that sweeper. And that's 3 strikeouts in a row. Strikeout number 5 for Brian Wu. And he's now retired 12 in a row since that leadoff single by Brandon Nimmo. So 1 away for the Rangers, and that'll bring up designated hitter Jock Peterson. Wu's been outstanding. Peterson hit the ball hard, but lined out to Leo Rivas at third base. Mariners have placed Rivas perfectly defensively in this afternoon's game against the left-handed hitters. He's playing way off the line. Here's the pitch to Peterson, low and inside for ball 1. Peterson lined out right to Rivas. And 2 ground ball outs right to Rivas at third. Station right where he is right now to another left-handed hitter way off the bag. Next pitch, check swing. Does he go? It's low. Ball 2. He didn't go. Ball 2. 2-0 the count.
It's a quick moment, but it represents so many hours and so much work behind the scenes with Sam and his group as they get ready for a series and a ball game and hitters and pitchers and matchups.
They go over each guy. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's inside for ball 2. Excuse me, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. And how they pitch a certain guy, that's where they're stationed defensively, especially the middle infielders. But also in the case now of Rivas, and look at him now. Rivas moving farther to his left. He's playing straight away at shortstop now. Here's the 3-0, and it's a strike call, and the count now 3-1.
I mean, going into a series, they pour over every detail, looking for every sort of advantage they can get going into a series.
And it pays off that night and for the rest of the season. And you take away some outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, 1-hopper right to Rivas at third, way off the bag. He's got it. Throws the first, and it's in time to get Peterson for the second out of the inning, and that's exactly what we're talking about. He was playing way off the bag, and then when the count went to 3-0, he went farther to his left, and that ball was smoked off the bat of Peterson. For the second time, it finds Leo Rivas on the left side of the infield. What a defensive alignment for the Mariners to account for another out. 2 away.
That couldn't have worked out any better.
Yeah. Here's Josh Young. And the pitch to Young is way outside for ball 1.
I mean, it's all the work behind the scenes that nobody sees, but as this series is playing out, they are working tirelessly on the A's, getting ready for that series coming up starting tomorrow.
And the 1-0 pitch on the way to Young. Swinging, it's popped up right side of the infield. Cutting across is Cole Young, wanted it. He is there at the edge of the grass and makes the catch. And another 1-2-3 inning for Brian Wu. He has retired the last 14 batters in a row. He has faced the minimum, even though he's given up only 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A stellar performance by Brian Wu. After 4.5, our Mechanics Bank score, the Mariners 3 and the Rangers nothing.
I never saw the signs, it didn't treat me right.
That's our Mechanics Bank score. Mariners with a run in the first on Ref Snyder's first home run of the year, his first hit of the year. And then J.P. Crawford with a 2-run home run in the second inning, his first home run of the season. Here's Cal Raleigh. Cal is lined out to center and struck out. Mackenzie Gore ready. The pitch on the way. Swinging a drive deep down the left field line. It's got the distance. Stay fair. And this one is a foul ball. Cal hit it far. He hit it hard. He pulled it foul. 0-1 the count on Cal. Straighten that thing out, and that's home run number 3. Cal steps back in. The count 0-1. Gore ready to stretch, and the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And a pitch in the dirt. Cal spins the bat up in the air like a baton and catches it, and the count is 0-2 on Cal. First base umpire Junior Valentine making the call on the check swing. Cal taking a little bit of time. Now steps back in to face Gore. 3-0 Mariners lead. Looking for a series win against the Rangers after being swept down in Texas last trip. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to short. Charging Seager. One-hands it. Corey's throw to first, and it's in time to get Cal for the second out of the inning. Well, everyone knows a teacher worth celebrating. You can help us honor 24 of them with a $500 classroom grant through the WSE CU Teacher of the Week program. For complete rules and to submit your nomination, go to mynorthwest.com/teacher. Little League Day here at T-Mobile Park, our second one of the season. A lot of kids here at the ballpark. Here's center fielder Julio Rodriguez. The line and the pitch on the way. Swinging a little tapper, fouled away off the left side of home plate, 0-1. And he's to take a look at these little leaguers here, their hopes and dreams of playing in the big leagues one day for the Mariners. Well, now time is called by Julio. He got that foul ball off his foot. So trying to work off some of the hurt. He's having a little conversation with home plate umpire Stu Sherwater. But so many kids here at the ballpark hoping and wishing one day that they're going to put on a Mariners uniform and play in the big leagues. I know I did. I wanted to be in the next Louis Aparicio, the Chicago White Sox. As a kid growing up in Chicago, here's the 0-1 on the way. Swinging a tapper, fouled at the plate. And the count is 0-2. But then playing ball at Southern Illinois University and the JV team, I saw a slider, and my hopes and dreams were dashed. Decided to get into broadcasting, and that kind of worked out. Just fine.
Yeah, I'd say that worked out fine.
Yeah. Who did you want to be, Gary, when you were a kid?
Oh, Edgar Martinez.
Oh, good choice.
As it turns out, I was not Edgar Martinez.
And I wasn't Louis Aparicio, buddy. There's not too many Edgar Martinez because there's only about 300 guys in the Hall of Fame. Here's a pitch. Swinging a line shot in the left field off the bat of Julio. A rocket one-hopper out to Wyatt Langford and left. And I tell you what, that was an impressive AB right there for Julio. He took a foul ball off his foot. You know he was hurting, and that's his right foot. So he's putting his weight on his right side, and he laid back at a breaking ball. And, oh, man, he hit a tee shot at the left field. That was impressive. So 1 out and 2 outs, and that'll bring up left fielder Randy Arozarena. Randy with a double his last time up down the left field line. Here's the stretch by Gore. And the pitch to Randy. He's taking it all the way, just standing there, and it's a strike, 0-1.
Randy takes are my favorite takes.
Yeah.
When he chooses, I'm not going to swing, just stands perfectly still.
I love the ones where he walks out of the batter's box while the pitch is coming in. Gore ready, delivers. Swing and a miss at a fastball, and the count is down 0-2. Randy came in the ball game batting .282 on the year, so now has the average over .290. Julio lead at first base. Mariners lead 3-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Gorgeous Sunday. Here's the pitch. Swung on it, belted down the left field line. Stay fair, and this one is a fair ball. Goodbye baseball. Randy Arozarena tucks it around the foul pole down the left field line. A 2-out, 2-run home run. His second of the season. Third home run of the day for the Mariners, who now lead the Rangers 5-0. What an at-bat for Randy Arozarena. just fair down the left field line. With Julio aboard, 2 great at-bats right there, coming on the heels of 2 outs and nobody on. 5-0 Mariners. Randy gets the Trident treatment in front of the Mariners' first base dugout. Home runs by Ref Snyder, Crawford, and now Randy Arozarena. Here's Mitch Garver. The stretch and the pitch from Gore, and it's down low and inside for ball 1. So we talked about in Gore's last outing in Sacramento, lost 2-1 to the A's. The problem was the walks, 6 walks. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a foul out of play on the first base side, and the count is even on Mitch at 1 ball and 1 strike. Gore has given up more home runs in today's game than he has all season long. He gave up 2 home runs in a game against Cincinnati in his second start. Now the 1-1 to Mitch. That's in there for a strike, and the count is now 1-2. 5-0 Mariners via the long ball this afternoon, coupled with a great pitching of Brian Wu. He's given up only 1 hit. Here's the pitch to Garver. Bounces way out in front of the plate and skips on by the catcher, Jansen, for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Mariners having some fun this afternoon. Man, it's great to see the bats come alive for this ball club. You know, it was just a matter of time. Next offer on the way, swinging a foul back by Garver, and the count is still even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good timing as well, trying to take a series from a division foe.
On the heels of being swept by this ball club in Texas recently. A couple of road trips ago. The look in by Gore and the 2-2 to Garver. Swing and a foul out by the Rangers' third base dugout. Count is still even a Mitch at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I tell you what, he's had 3 good at bats. He's really made Gore work. And a 7-pitch walk, struck out, but made Gore work with 6 pitches in the third. And now another long at bat here in the 5th. The stretch and the 2-2 again. Swinging a well hit ball deep to left field. Langford going back, turning, reaching up as he backpedals, and he makes the catch on the 1-inch track, and that will retire the side. Langford turning to his right, turning to his left, a back pedal, reaches up, and he makes the catch on the shot off the bat of Mitch Garver. Now the Mariners get 2 on the home run by Randy Arozarena, 3rd home run of the day for the Mariners. We go to the top of the
Outdoor living space or fireplace in Bellevue, Auburn, Spokane, or Portland, or firesidehomesolutions.com. Yeah, Woo is red hot right now. 1 out, 6th inning. Mariners leading 5-0. Your Mechanics Bank score. Woo facing Josh Smith. Here's the pitch to him. Swung on, line drive, base hit into right field. It's cut off there by Refsnyder, who quickly gets in, holds Smith to a single. So that breaks up 15 in a row knocked down. And just the second hit for the Rangers. They have not had a runner as far as second base today. And it just really continues what Woo has been doing all season. His ERA right now, at this moment, is below 1.8. Here's Danny Jansen, the catcher. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Put that in context, that's inside the top 10 in Major League Baseball. Jose Soriano from the Angels has the very best ERA. He is off to a ridiculous start. The Mariners missed him when they played the Angels in Anaheim. He's given up 1 run this season, the 0-1. Swung on, popped up behind home plate, or in front of home plate now. Woo is right there. He's called off, and Connor Joe's going to make the catch. Looked like Woo was staying in place as long as possible, wanted to make the play, but Connor Joe calls him off for the second out.
If nobody was around, that ball would have hit Brian right on top of his noggin. I mean, he could have caught it. He pointed right up in the air. He's just stood there, but then he got out of the way for Connor to make the easy catch.
As we've talked about, he is somebody that works at feeling his position. We've seen him go through the drills, the infield drills with Perry Hill before a ball game with the other infielders.
Feel pretty confident that Brian would have caught that ball.
Yeah, I think he would have been just fine. Here's Nimmo. He's a Gold Glove candidate. Woo fields his position very well. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back.
On Trident Talk, you had a chance to visit with Mark Langston. We did in Anaheim. Mark was the first Mariner to win a Gold Glove, and he was a pitcher back in 1987 to win it.
He won 7 in his career. No balls to strike, 2 outs. Mariners up 5-0. Here's the pitch to Nimmo. Inside, almost hits him. What I thought was remarkable talking to Mark about that is he said every day he would take ground balls at shortstop during batting practice, which is just a funny, left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Watching him take ground balls every day would be pretty great, but he did. And he was a remarkable fielder. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, line drive, center field. Julio racing back, showing us numbers. He's at the track, reaches up, makes the catch. Julio reels it in, and that's it for the Rangers in the 6th inning. Brian Woo continues to dominate, 6 scoreless against the Texas Rangers at T-Mobile Park. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Mariners on top 5-0 on the Mariners Radio Network. 5 runs, 7 hits for the Mariners. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Connor Joe will bat. He picked up a base hit last time. Should have been a double. Hit the umpire, though, so he settled for a single. Here's the pitch. That's down low. 1 ball, no strikes. New pitcher on for the Texas Rangers. Tyler Alexander takes over on the hill, another lefty. So Gore's day is done. Mariners did a great job against Gore. The 1-0. That's a strike. Tied for the most home runs he's given up in a start in his career. 3 dingers today for the Mariners. They have hit the ball consistently hard all day. They have 9 balls in play at 100 miles per hour or more. Here's the 1-1. Down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's the most in any game this season. 8 was the previous high. So that really stands out. Certainly something they're trying to reverse. Here's the 2-1. Strike over the corner. We've seen the Mariners hit 3 home runs today. We've also seen a double. They just haven't slugged a lot early in the season. 29th in baseball in slugging percentage. But given their lineup, you know that's going to climb. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive, center field. Carter inching back. He's there. He makes the catch. And there's 1 out.
There's some really good at-bats in front of 2 of the 3 home runs. Mitch Garver hit a long at-bat and walked, then 1 out later. That's when JP homered. And then with 2 outs, Julio takes a foul ball off his foot. He's in a lot of pain. And an 0-2 pitch, lines a base in the left field. Then Randy hits the home run. So some really good swings off of Mackenzie Gore this afternoon.
Yeah, great swings. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. You know it's in there for the Mariners lineup. It's a lineup that crushed a ton of homers last year. Here's JP. The pitch is a strike. Coming into the game yesterday, the Mariners had the fewest balls in play at 100 miles per hour or more in baseball, which again feels like that won't last as the season goes. The 0-1 swung on, little line drive, and it just scoots foul down the third base line.
Rob Drake got out of the way of that one and tipped his hat to the crowd because he was taking some stuff from the fans over there saying, hey, way to get out of the way. Good job.
And hitting the ball hard does matter when you look at the numbers, especially in terms of batting average, in terms of slugging percentage. No balls, 2 strikes. Alexander set. Here comes the pitch. That's upstairs. Nelson Cruz once told me, and we all know the kind of hitter he was, the best thing to do is hit the ball as hard as you can, as often as you can. And I thought that sums up hitting pretty well. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back out of play.
Worked very well for Nelson.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Who, when we play, of course, started for both the Rangers and the Mariners, he was the kind of hitter I felt like you appreciated even more when you saw him every day. Much more than a slugger, a hitter.
He was a good hitter first, he said. And then the power came along.
The 1-2 is outside.
And you could see Nelson, when he was on a lot, would drive the ball to right field, right center field.
This pitch is challenged. It's going to be a strike. I think JP thought it was a strike in real time anyways. Yeah, it's firmly in the zone, the entire baseball in there, so that's a strikeout. And there's 2 away. For reference this year, when a hitter puts the ball in play at 100 plus, they're batting .563. And they're slugging nearly 1,200. You do damage when you put it in play 100 plus. Here's the pitch to Cole Young. That's a strike.
Well, ground balls get by infielders. Line drives.
Get in the air and they're home runs. Yeah.
Or they're out of the park.
It does matter. There are guys in baseball that exist that don't hit the ball hard often, but are still good hitters. That's the thing that happens. The 0-1, a ground ball right to second base, picked up by Smith. Throw to first base to get the out. Arise is a great example. Doesn't hit the ball hard, but sprays it around, and he's effective. But in general, hitting the ball hard, very helpful. That's it for the Mariners in the 6th. They go 1-2-3. We go to the 7th. Brian Wu has been dealing. 5-0 Mariners the lead on the Mariners Radio Network.
staying in bed thinking back on us and everything that went wrong. Never said goodbye, think I broke your trust, should've known this all along. Don't wanna be the one that you're trying to avoid. I'm feeling so confused, why did I act so annoyed? 'Cause I don't wanna be strangers, baby. The next time when we meet, and it dawned on me, yeah, yes it did. Not letting you go, 'cause what we had was gold, and you gotta know, I was standing on the border. The walls around me kept me safe. I couldn't see that I was shutting you out. I was stuck up and proud, but I'm waking up now. Want you to know that I need you. I'm waking up now. You gotta know that I need you. I'm a little messed up, but it's time for me to be dropping down my defense. I realized I wasn't there for real. What I did didn't make any sense. How can I get you close? I see why you'd be so cold, but you need to forget everything that I've told you. 'Cause I ain't playing it low-key, baby. I'll bring you right back home, and
17 of the last 18 he has seen. And he's hit 63 pitches. Seager, 0 for 2. He struck out last time. The pitch, that's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mariners have staked him to a 5-0 lead. 3 home runs on the day for the Mariners. JP has homered. Ref Snyder has gone deep. And Randy Arozarena, a 2-run home run. Woo's 1-1. Outside. We take a look at our working hard player of the game, brought to you by King Utility and Whistle Workwear. Why wouldn't it be Brian Wu? For the ones working hard every day, King Utility, available at Whistle Workwear. Here's the 2-1. Inside. Seager had a notion, did not go. 3-1. You know, with Wu at 66 pitches in the 7th, it's worth looking at his longest starts. He's got a chance to make this his longest of his career. Here's the 3-1. That's low, ball 4. We'll see what develops as he has a leadoff walk here. But his longest start was a game in the Bronx against the Yankees last year. He went 7 1/3. Gave up 2 runs that day. He's gone 7 innings 11 different times. But 7 1/3, his longest career start. Now Cal's going to come out to talk to Wu.
And one of the many reasons why he doesn't walk anybody, just walk Corey Seager, his first walk of the day. He's walked only 6 guys in 5 starts this year. He makes you swing the bat, put the ball in play, or he strikes you out.
He's been phenomenal this year and just seems to be getting better and better. We were talking to Pete Woodworth when we were in San Diego about Wu, and one of the things that Pete pointed to was Adam Bernero, who helps with the mental skills with the entire team, but he says the work that Wu has done with Bernero has really made a difference the last couple of years.
George Kirby mentioned that too, what Adam means to the club. He helps out everybody on the team, the pitchers and the position players. And I didn't realize it, but before opening day, he took a fire pit out at home plate. He had all the guys write on a piece of paper what they want to eliminate, and they burned it in the fire pit.
Here's the pitch to Langford, swung on and missed.
You know, what they don't want to see anymore, and I guess it helped out for some guys, especially George Kirby and Brian Wu and whoever wrote something on a piece of paper that they burned it, said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, fouled back. Adam Bernero, who is a former Major League pitcher, he's in uniform in the dugout every single day, travels. He's here every single day, and it's very common. We see him having conversations with guys in the dugout, just walking in the outfield before a game, often with shoes off.
Why wouldn't you have a guy like that? Because this game is so mental, on a day-to-day basis. It's a long journey.
Here comes the 0-2. Too high. You're 100% right on that. And I do feel like for a long time in Major League Baseball, the mental side was never talked about out loud, and the resources weren't really provided. And now they are. We talk about it openly, and you see Byrne in the dugout every single day. There to help. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, line drive, base hit left field. So the Rangers now making noise with runners at first and second and nobody down. Because as we know, this game especially, it's failure constantly.
Right.
And the only way to succeed is dealing with the failure.
Exactly. And we've said it a million times. Edgar struck out or made out 7 times out of every 10 at-bats, and he's in the Hall of Fame. But Adam said a long time ago when I talked to him about this, and he does such a great job, he said, I allow the players to come to me. I don't go to them and say, hey, listen, you ought to do this. But when they're ready to talk, he's ready to listen and give his advice to help them out, get through a long year.
So 2 on, no outs. Here's Berger, the pitch. That's a strike. And Bernero, when we've talked to him, has been, hey, he's been there. He was in the majors and has been open about the struggles that he went through as a player. So he can really relate to what all these guys go through.
No question.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on, shot foul at home plate. I got a piece of cow. No balls, 2 strikes. So Wu way ahead of Berger right here.
When Adam was a young pitcher with the Detroit Tigers, he was on that staff that took a beating. Jeremy Bondeman, Mike Maroth, Adam, where they let him go out there and try to learn on the job, and they lost a lot of ball games. But he was part of that pitching staff that had a rough time as a young pitcher.
Here comes the 0-2. Upstairs. 97 just above the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wu's pitch count starting to get elevated. 74 pitches now. 5-0 Mariners. Texas, first time they've had a runner as far as second base. Runners at first and second. The 1-2. Too high again. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Ham's trying to take a series from Texas. Wu goes through his routine, staring in, takes a deep breath. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Zipped it in right by him. 97 over the black. And now Berger has challenged. We'll see if this stands. It does. That was firmly in the zone. First out. That's a big one. 6th strikeout for Wu.
There's that fastball that normally he saves for a left-handed hitter, but this one started off the plate to the right-handed hitting Berger, then came back over the outside corner. Great pitch.
Here's Peterson, who's 0 for 2. Peterson wearing shades in the bright sunshine here in Seattle. Runners at first and second. Wu, his pitch. Inside, he twists out of the way. Lets out a groan as he does.
He thought he was going to get hit. He started yelling, but he didn't get hit.
It was close. Didn't get hit, though. Peterson back in the box. Grips the bat with red batting gloves. Royal blue top. Texas across the front for the Rangers. The 1-0 from Wu. There it is. That's in there. Good 2-seam to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's near 80 pitches now. No one throwing in the Mariners' pen. Texas bullpen, on the other hand, they're busy. Beeks and Wynn both getting loose. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wu's pitch. That did hit him. Well, he grown this time, but it was for a reason, as he gets hit 97. And now the Rangers have the bases loaded with 1 out. This is the first time Wu has been in any sort of trouble at all today. He's been so good, so efficient. Here's Pete Woodworth. He's going to chat with Wu about this situation. Josh Young will bat. He had 2 hits last night, including a home run.
Here you talk about a mental skills coach. Every pitching coach is that kind of guy.
Yeah.
To go out there in this situation right now, it's been a brilliant outing by Brian Wu for 6 innings, and now in a jam, bases loaded with a walk and a single. Was able to strike out Berger, then hits Peterson. And so now just a little bit of a breather, a little timeout, saying, okay, all you need is ground ball right here to get out of the inning with a double play.
Yeah, Young's tough. He's had a good series. Had 3 doubles the night before. Batting over 300 in the early season. He's been good this year. So bases loaded, facing Young. Mariners sporting a 5-0 lead. Just 1 out. This will be pitch number 80 for Wu. He's set. He delivers. Swung on, foul back. He's ahead. Good velo. That was 97 on the fastball. Seager at third, Langford at second, Peterson at first. They take their leads. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, lifted, right field, hit well. Back Refsnyder, he's on the track, he's under it, he makes the catch. Seager tagging from third, he's going to score. So the Rangers have scored their first run, but that's out number 2. It's now 5-1 Mariners. The Mariners will take that trade. Langford goes into third base. So runners on the corners now, but 2 down. Big spot right here. Trying to get Evan Carter, who's 0 for 2. Mariners do have the bullpen going now. Wu trying to end the 7th. 5-1 Mariners. Runners on the corners. Wu set, delivers. Off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. A changeup that danced just wide. Spire is throwing. Brash is throwing. So lefty-righty combo going in the bullpen for the Mariners. Wu's 1-0. Swung on, ripped. Right field. It is 1 hop to the wall. Rangers get 1. Langford scores. Here comes Peterson to third. He's going to be held. Carter goes into second with a double. The Rangers get another. It's now 5-2 Mariners. Evan Carter, an RBI double. Now Texas will bring the tying run to the plate in Josh Smith. This one came out of nowhere as the Rangers just 2 runners all day until this inning.
Yeah, Brian wanted that slider farther down and in, left it middle in, and Carter, left-handed hitter, was able to get to it. But Brian out there still trying to get that final out here in the 7th. He's battled.
Yeah, staying with Wu right here. So Smith will bat. He's 1 for 2. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. And it's just a touch below the knees. Tried the sweep. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs, 2 on. 2 in. Mariners up by 3. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, chopped right to second base. This should be it. Cole Young has it, flips it to first. That's the out, and that's the inning. Brian Wu gives up a couple, but he has been excellent today. 7 innings of 2-run ball against the Texas Rangers, and gets a big standing ovation from the fans behind the Mariners' first base dugout. He deserves it. Another great day for Brian Wu. 5-2 Mariners lead. We go to the bottom of the 7th on the Mariners Radio Network.
This world is so cold and deceiving.
with flies and disguises and cheating. I got just the right sugar to sweeten. Turn it all to the Garden of Eden. I can make the gray turn gold. I can make the sun come out. I can make the bland turn bold. Show you what it's all about. I can make all your edges smooth. I can make your visions come true. Just like a filter. Whenever you want me, I'm here for you. I make you brand new. Just like a filter. All of them flaws, baby, worse than yours. Let's bend the truth. I can give you a rhyme and a reason. You just have to give in to the feeling. Don't you know?
Here. One thing that Skip Schumacher has to know is that the Mariners have Naylor, Canzone, Raley, and Donovan all on the bench if needed. So they have a lot of lefty thump if it comes down to it. So Schumacher trying to keep away from that by going to another lefty here. Rivas will lead off. Refsnyder will follow, and then Cal. Before we have the first pitch here, why don't we pause for station identification on the Mariners Radio Network. Well, the Rangers just got a couple, but credit Wu getting out of trouble with the tying run aboard. That's the BECU save of the game. It's always a good time to save. Learn more about the BECU Early Saver account at becu.org/early saver. So here we go. Bottom of the seventh. Mariners up 3, looking for a little insurance. Rivas will lead off. He's 0 for 2. The pitch. And Beeks sends it over for a strike. Beeks has been good this year. 8 2/3, just 1 run allowed. The veteran lefty has been around. Works from the third base side of the rubber. Deals. That's sent outside. It's been a really good offensive day for the Mariners. 5 runs on the board, but the slug has been there. They've hit the ball hard. They've hit 3 home runs against a really good pitcher. The 1-1 is a strike. And that's the context of this. You combine last year and this year, no team has a better ER than the Rangers by a lot. And the Mariners have touched them up pretty good the last couple days.
This is coming on the heels of a 7-run game last night for the Mariners.
Yeah. It's good to see. Hopefully a sign of things to come offensively for the Mariners. The 1-2. Strike 3. And Rivas is punched out for the first out in the 7th. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Mariners and A's starting tomorrow. 6:40 first pitch. Emerson Hancock will take a look at the A's. Right now, the A's trailing the White Sox 7-1 in Sacramento in the 7th, although 6 runs may seem like a lot, but it is Sacramento, so that lead could go away. The pitch to Refsnyder is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Refsnyder set the tone. A leadoff home run in the first inning, his first hit as a Mariner. He's wearing sunglasses in the sunshine, the 1-0. Not close.
A's playing some pretty good baseball. They've won 7 of their last 10 games.
That lineup is tough. That's a real lineup. They can put up some runs.
Nick Kurtz, first baseman.
The 2-0. Inside. 3 balls, no strikes. On the flip side, the Mariners will have an opportunity to score some runs on the pitching staff because they also give up a fair share of runs as well. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled. It skips past third base coach Carlos Cardozo. It was in the Texas Rangers system for a long time. Climbing the ladder through the Rangers system before taking the job with the Mariners. Here's the 3-1. Strike over the inside corner. His brother coaches in the Rangers system. In spring training, they exchanged the lineup cards when the Mariners played the Rangers. He was never expected to be a pro coach. And here he is, the third base coach for the Mariners. The 3-2. Swung on, ground ball, third base side on the back end. Young has it, throws on the move, and it's right there, just getting Refsnyder. There's 2 away. He was just asked to kind of help out a friend's son, as he was a college baseball player. He ended up helping out the local high school program. The head coach left, and all of a sudden, he's the head coach of the high school program. And he was looking for help in the area as Cal Raleigh stands in. And somebody who used to work for the Atlanta Braves, here's the pitch, is down low, said, hey, you should be a coach at the pro level, which he'd never really thought about before. All of a sudden, he goes to the winter meetings. Here's the 1-0, up and away. Ends up getting a job working in the Dominican for the Texas Rangers and just climbing the ladder. He was their AA manager last year. He was going to be their AAA manager this year before the Mariners called. It's a great story. Here's the 2-0. That's a strike.
Sometimes fate is just a little push from someone who sees something that you don't see.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, okay, yeah, maybe I'll think about it. And tried it, and here he is in the big leagues.
The 2-1 is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So he knows a lot of players in the Rangers dugout. He managed a ton of all those young guys coming up through the system. Three balls, 1 strike on Cal. 2 outs. Mariners up by 3. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up. Just behind the bag at second. Smith out, Nimmo in. Nimmo and Smith, they nearly collide, and the ball is down. It's a hit. Cal Raleigh on first base. They both okay. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, Nemo's a big, strong guy coming in, and Smith, the second baseman, going out. At the last second, Smith hurt him, and he tried to get away. And then Nemo, it glanced off his glove, at the tip of his glove. Ooh, they barely missed one another.
That could have been bad. And Cal gets a single. There's a righty in the bullpen up, Julio batting, and here comes Schumacher. A slow stroll, so it looks like they're going to get Beeks and go to the righty in the pen. So the Mariners, a little gift base hit to Cal Raleigh. He'll take it. We'll see what the Mariners can do with it when we come back. 5-2, Mariners with the lead, bottom of the 7th on the Mariners Radio Network.
Style or
When did we make it so cold? The air is too thick to breathe. I wonder when you're coming home at 4:05. Just where have you been? I can tell from your breath that you've been drinking. Lying seems so easy to you. Just wanna know what you're thinking. Nothing comes easy when it comes to you. You said you wanted to know me, but did you even try? All you do is find new ways to hurt me. You just wanna act like it's fine, but it's not alright. You just act like it's fine. Oh no, it's not alright. It's not alright.
High, 1 ball, no strikes. So Cal on first base with 2 outs. Mariners up by 3. They want more. Julio singled and scored last time. Here's the pitch. Way outside. That nearly got to the backstop. Collier really the only hard thrower in the Rangers bullpen. It's not a stuffy pen in terms of velocity. He throws, or averages 98 on the fastball. They're a bullpen that throws a lot of breaking stuff, a lot of off speed. Here's the 2-0. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes, which makes you wonder as the season goes. The bullpen off to a really nice start. They're top 5 in ERA as a bullpen, but you do wonder without the stuff if you can sustain that level through the course of the season. We'll find out. The 3-0. That's a strike. He zips that in at 97 at the kneecaps. 3-1. Cal, 1 stolen base so far this year. Mariners, a 3-run lead, bottom of the 7th. The 3-1 to Julio. Way outside, ball 4. That was not close. Mariners in business. Runners at first and second. Randy Arozarena will bat. Randy homered last time. He's had a day. He is homered. He is doubled. He would take a base hit here to score Cal from second base. Collier, ball in his right hand, sleeveless on a warm afternoon in Seattle. Set from the stretch. Here comes the pitch to Randy. Strike over the inside corner. 97 on the edge. Randy off to a great start this season, batting cleanup today for the Mariners. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, hit hard up the middle, but right there, Josh Smith on the backhand behind the bag at second. Throws to first in time to get Randy, and the Mariners put away in the 7th. They threaten, but they do not score. We head to the 8th. 5-2, Mariners the lead. Looks like we'll see Gabe Spire coming in. We come back right after this.
Just 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, a hit batter, and he struck out 6. He went 6 scoreless innings. Rangers got a couple of runs off him in the 7th. So we go to the 8th, and veteran left-hander Gabe Spire, who's been outstanding, will take over in relief. Spire, 0-2, but has a 2.35 ERA, making his 10th appearance of the year. He has 1 save. He's worked 7 2/3 innings, given up 6 hits, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Danny Jansen, no, this is Sam Haggerty to lead things off. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's going to be a strike, 0-1. So Haggerty pinch hitting, the former Mariner, for Jansen, the catcher. Haggerty batting from the right side. Here's the stretch, and the pitch from Spire, swinging a foul behind the plate. And the count right away rushes to 0-2, and that's Gabe Spire. A lot of first pitch strikes and a lot of strikes after the first pitch strike. That's that back foot in front of the rubber. Now the look in by Gabe, and the left-hander is 0-2 on the way to Haggerty, and it's up high for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But the story today, Brian Wu, he gave up a leadoff single to Brandon Nimmo to lead off the game, and then retired 15 in a row, 17 out of 18. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went after a fastball from Spire. Haggerty strikes out, and there's one away for the Rangers here in the top of the 8th inning.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Sunset Auto Family in Summer and Auburn. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Good fastball, top rung of the strike zone. And Haggerty strikes out. That'll bring up Brandon Nimmo. One of only 4 hits on the day for the Rangers. Came on Brian Wu's first pitch. The windup and the pitch. The Nimmo swinging a bouncing ball foul on the first base side, and the count is 0-1. Brian Wu's ERA now for the year, 2.25 after giving up those 2 runs in the 7th. But he was outstanding. Spire ready from the belt, and the left-handers 0-1 on the way to Nimmo. Swinging a well-hit ball down the right field line into the corner. This one is going to be a fair ball. Hits off the fence on a hop. Up with the ball is Refsnyder. Heading for second is Nimmo. He'll go in, standing up with a 1-out double. So Nimmo with a double down the right field line. 1 on and 1 away. And that'll bring up Corey Seager. Seager started that 2-run rally in the 7th with a walk. He's 0 for 2 on the day. That was against Brian Wu with a pop to third. And Brian struck him out back in the 4th inning. Spire looked back at Nimmo. Here's the stretch. And now the pitch on the way to Seager. Breaking ball backs him away. Ball 1. Mariners today, 5 runs on 8 hits. 3 home runs in the ball game for the Mariners. Rangers 2 runs on now 5 base hits. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a ground ball foul up by the first base Mariner dugout, and the count is even on Seager at 1 ball and 1 strike. Glad you could join us for all the play-by-play from T-Mobile Park on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in Seattle. Final game of the 3-game series with the Rangers. Here's the stretch. And the 1-1 pitch to Corey Seager is on the way. Swing and a little looper foul on the third base side. It's off the netting. And the count is now 1-2. Mariners looking for a series win after winning last night 7-3. Rangers won the opening game of the series. Athletics will be in town tomorrow night. Game 1 of that 3-game set. Now the stretch of the 1-2 to Seager. Check, swing, breaking ball down and away. Did he go? He did not. He appealed down to the third base umpire. Ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Seager.
Brash is ready in the bullpen. There's a couple righties coming up next.
So Brash getting loose. Now the set by Spire. 2-2 to Seager. Swinging a pop-up right over us up here in the radio booth and into the 300 level. And it's still 2-2 on Seager.
Wu going 7 was really helpful. You'd have to figure with Ferrer going 2 in a row, Bizzardo going 2 in a row, they were probably down today. So that 7 was very helpful.
Spire looking to get out of the 8th inning, the stretch, and the next offer swinging another foul back by Seager. But just in case you got Brash ready to go, Wyatt Langford, a right-handed hitter, is due up next. Another right-handed hitter in Berger. Then the lefty in Peterson. Spire check of Nimmo on at second. And again, the 2-2 to Seager. Swinging a pop-up out of play in the third base side. And the count is still 2-2 on Corey. Former first-round pick by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Spire trying to get one past Seager. Gabe looks and has a sign from Mitch Garver. 1 on, 1 away. And again, the 2-2, and it's low and outside for ball 3. Full count 3-2, and Seager has seen a lot of pitches his last 2 at-bats. Center fielder Julio Rodriguez a little bit toward left center. For Corey, a left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. 3-2, swinging a ground ball foul on the first base side. So the long at bat continues, and Spire up to the challenge, staying in there with Seager and vice versa. Next pitch will be pitch number 10 of the at bat for Spire to Seager. Nimmo again a lead at second base. The stretch, and again the 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he got him with a slider, strike 3. Spire winning that long battle, his second strikeout of the inning. That is a huge second out. And that'll bring up Wyatt Langford. Now let's see what the Mariners want to do right here. He got Brash ready to go. Spire has faced 3 batters, a couple of strikeouts and a double. He'll stay in there against the right-handed bat of Langford. Spire look back at Nimmo. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Langford is a strike on the inside corner with a fastball. The count 0-1. And now Langford wants to challenge it. It was called a strike by the home plate umpire. And let's see if it is. And, it just misses inside. So Langford will win that ABS challenge. And the count is 1-0 instead of 0-1. And it barely missed inside. 1 on, 2 outs. 5-2 Mariners, top of the 8th. Spire check him. Nimmo again. The stretch and the 1-0 pitch to Langford. Swinging a pop-up into right field. Over toward the line goes Rep Snyder. Rob is there. Fair territory. And he makes the catch. That's going to retire the side. They stand there with a left-hander. And Spire gets the job done. He gets Langford to pop it up. And that's it for Texas in the 8th. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our Mechanics Bank score. It's the Mariners 5 and the Rangers 2.
Girl, you know I love you, love you, love you. I love you, love you, love you. I won't put no one up, boy, you, boy, you, boy, you. Cause you're loyal, loyal, loyal. And girl, you know I love you, love you, love you. I love you, love you, love you. I won't put no one up, boy, you, boy, you, boy, you. And girl, you know that I love you, love you, love you. If she ain't got no loyalty, she for the street. And I ain't got no loyalty for a thief. Don't steal my heart unless you settling with me. It's too early in the night, I'm off a beam. The Rose Valley every time that we leave. Got you dripping like red bottoms on your feet. Your perfume and your makeup on my sheets. So move your body to the beat. Move your body to the beat. So take it all, you for me. Anytime, anywhere we can leave. Now it's slot and the T63.
Catcher Kyle Higashioka now behind the plate. Here's the windup and the 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss by Garver. The count is now 0-2. And so we have a new battery for Texas. The windup and the 0-2 on the way to Mitch. Swing a little tapper along the third base side. Picked up by Jonas. Bobbles, recovers a throw to first in time to get Garver for the out. and 1 away for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Say, friends, before the big unit gets his number retired on May 2nd, don't miss Randy Johnson's 80s jersey night on May the 1st. It's your chance to rock this iconic number 51 in style with the first 20,000 fans taking home this 80s era jersey. Thanks to T-Mobile. Get your tickets at Mariners.com. It's a great looking jersey. So come on by. Here's Connor Joe. Pitch to Connor is a breaking ball that's inside for ball 1. Joe 1 for 3, his first base hit of the season. He had a double taken away because the shot over the bag at third hit the third base umpire, Rob Drake. Here's the pitch, swinging a pop-up. Out of play in the first base side, and the count is even on Connor at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners 3 outs away from a series win this afternoon. Jake Berger, Jock Peterson, Josh Young due up for Texas in the top half of the 9th inning. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way to Joe, and it's down low, ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Great to see Munoz come in that ball game in the 9th inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a strikeout of Nimmo to pick up the save. Here's a swing and a pop-up out of play in the first base side. And the count is even on Connor Joe at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you got Munoz getting loose down to the bullpen right now. The windup and the 2-2 way outside. Ball 3, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Munoz taking care of Nimmo last night very quickly on 4 pitches to strike him out. The 3-2. It's outside for ball 4. So a great at bat by Connor Joe draws a walk. Now they have 1 on and 1 away for J.P. Crawford.
Looks like we got a challenge on it.
And it is a ball, so the Rangers lose that challenge. It is ball 4, so Joe takes off for first base, and that'll bring up J.P. Crawford. J.P. with a big 2-run home run way back in the 2nd inning. His first home run of the season, 1 for 3 on the day.
Rangers now out of challenges. The Mariners have 2 left.
The stretch and the pitch of J.P. inside for ball 1. Mitch Garver, Gary, has been very good winning challenges early in the game.
He's had a good day.
The pitches that were called a ball won the challenge. They were turned around and called a strike. Junis from the stretch. And the pitch to Crawford way up high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Munoz, who had really struggled in a few outings, really bounced back in a huge way last night, getting that final out in the top of the 9th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch, swing and a foul back by J.P. right off the end of the bat. Goes behind the plate, and the count is now 2-1. You know, we were talking about how this game is so much on the mental side and why Adam Bernero, our mental skills coach. There goes the runner, Joe. Pitch on the way inside the ball. The throw down to second by Higgy is way high and wide. Seagrass to go get the throw. Connor Joe in at second base with his first stolen base of the season. It's 3-1 on J.P. Crawford. Kyle Higashioka coming out from behind home plate trying to get off the throw. It was high and wide, and Joe is in there. That's a big stolen base for the Mariners. No chance for the double play, and a base hit gets you a run. Now the stretch. And the Junis 3-1 to JP. It's inside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks given up by Jacob Junis. And now the Mariners have runners at first and second with 1 out looking to add on. And here is Cole Young. Cole 1 for 3 on the day. He had a big hit last night, a 2-run single, as the Mariners won that game 7-3. And time is called. New catcher Kyle Higashioka out in front of the plate, going through the signs. He pushes the buttons to tell Junis what pitch to throw with the PitchCom device. So 1 out, 2 on for the Mariners. Bottom of the 8th. Mariners lead 5-2. Cole Young, 11 runs batted in on the season. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way to Cole. Inside, backs out of the way from ball 1. That almost hit him. On deck is Leo Rivas. No Brendan Ryan this afternoon or last night. Out with a hip injury. Hopefully we'll see him real soon. Next pitch on the way, and a check swing by Young, and that's inside for ball 2. So Junis having a rough time trying to throw strikes, and the Mariners hoping to capitalize with the 2 walks. Connor Joe on at second. J.P. Crawford, the runner at first base. 1 down the stretch. And now the 2-0 on the way to Young, swinging a fly ball into straightaway center field. Backing up is Carter. Battling the sun. He is there, and he makes the catch, and the runners have to stay. So Cole flies out. 2 on and 2 away. And that'll bring up Leo Rivas. Rivas, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. The Mariners have seen a lot of lefties, starting with the starter, Mackenzie Gore, and then Alexander and Beeks. And now Junis on in relief here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Beautiful day out here in Seattle. Wind blowing in from the left field corner off of Elliott Bay. Plenty of sunshine all around the ballpark. 5-2 Mariners, and here's Rivas. Big run out there at second, and Joe. The stretch and the pitch on the way to Leo. Way up and in. Ball 1. Outfield for the Rangers straight away. Mariners were 10-3 against Texas last year. The pitch on the way. Strike called. Fastball, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hope you make your plans to come on by T-Mobile Park tomorrow night to welcome the Athletics in town. Hancock against J.T. Ginn. Runners get their leads. 2 on, 2 away. The 1-1 pitch. Up and in on Rivas. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Rivas thinks it might hit him. See if the Mariners want to take a look at this.
Danny looking for a response.
Yeah. They're going to look at it.
Yeah, got him on the left wrist, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, it grazed him, but it looked like it got him, so they are going to look at it. And it looks like the Mariners, when they win this challenge, will have the bases loaded with 2 outs for Rob Refsnyder, who's on deck.
And keep in mind that the Mariners still have their lefty bats on the bench, whether it's Canzone or Naylor or Raley.
Yeah.
Donovan as well. So Refsnyder due up here against the righty, but
yeah,
they could go to the bench and grab any one of them.
No doubt about it. You got some good choices. Now Rivas has taken off his shin guard. He knows he was hit by the pitch, so we're just waiting for the call from the umpire in Manhattan. So the Mariners will have the bases loaded. But some big left-handed bats on the bench. Rob Refsnyder, the right-handed hitter, due up next, who led off the bottom of the 1st inning with his first home run of the year and his first hit as a Seattle Mariner. And in the meantime, Junis going through some warm tosses. Here we go.
The call of the field is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch. Seattle will retain the challenge.
All right, so Leo Rivas knew it. The umpire in Manhattan agrees. Leo hit by a pitch, and the Mariners have the bases loaded. Connor Joe on at third. J.P. Crawford on at second. Rivas on at first base. And here is Luke Raley coming out of the dugout to pitch hit for Rob Refsnyder. So some left-handed bats ready to join in on the fun this afternoon. The Mariners with 5 runs in the bank and looking for some more. Luke Raley batting .318 on the year with 5 home runs to lead the ball club and 13 runs batted in to lead the ball club. Will pitch hit for Refsnyder here in the bottom of the 8th inning, trying to open up that 3-run advantage. And now time is called. Jordan Teagues, the pitching coach for the Rangers, out to the mound. Have a talk with Junis. But Luke Raley has been outstanding here in the start of the year. And how about last night? Luke 1 for 3 with a long, towering home run to right field in the bottom of the 6th inning last night for home run number 5. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Looking to add on to their 5-2 lead. Junis In with a sign. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way to Luke. Swinging a line drive right to the first baseman. Jake Berger makes the catch, and that will retire the side. He hit it hard, but right to Berger. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 runners left on. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Last try for the Rangers. Our Mechanics Bank score. The Mariners 5 and the Rangers 2. It was a struggle the previous few outings. He hung in there in the outing before last night's game. The look in by Munoz. Here's the stretch and the 0-1 on the way to Berger. Here she comes, and it's a slider that's low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. So he really came back from the rough outing in San Diego to get save number 2 in last night's game. Munoz ready. Here's the set. And now the burly right-hander, the 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss at a slider, and the count is now 1-2. That was the pitch he was looking for, the feel on that slider. And he definitely had it last night. He struck out Nimmo on 4 pitches. And now he's out in front of the count on Jake Berger at 1-2. Let's see if he comes back with the slider, his best pitch. Fastball not too shabby either at about 100 miles an hour, the stretch. And the 1-2 on the way to Berger, swinging a fly ball down the right field line, slicing, and this one is a foul ball. And yeah, he came back with a slider, and Berger got a piece of it. Time now for the Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pen Report. The Mariners have used Spire, and now Munoz in relief behind Brian Wu, who was outstanding this afternoon, went 7 innings. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch way up high with a fastball for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's the Pen Report, brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and the best in the Northwest. Andres ready from the stretch, and the 2-2 on the way to Berger. Swing and a miss. The ball gets on by Garver. Bounces off the wall. The throw to first base, and it gets on by Joe into right field. Safe at first base is Berger on a swing and a miss wild pitch. And what a break for the Texas Rangers. He swung and missed. At strike 3, the ball got on by Garver all the way to the backstop. It bounced right back to Garver. And Berger winds up on at first base. A strikeout for Munoz, still nobody out. But a wild pitch, and now the batter is Jock Peterson. So 1 on for Texas. Mariners lead by 3. The pitch on the way. Peterson takes way outside for ball 1. Fastball misses. And on deck is Josh Young. Rangers 2 runs coming in the top of the 7th inning on a sacrifice fly and an RBI double by Evan Carter. Now the stretch and the 1-0 pitch on the way to Peterson. Swing and a foul behind the plate. Good fastball at 99 miles an hour, and the count is even on Peterson. And 1 ball and 1 strike. So here's Munoz, 2-2. 9th appearance of the year. He has a couple of saves. Andres really bends to the waist, looks then to get the sign. Now the set. And the 1-1 on the way to Peterson. Swinging a foul ball out of play on the third base side. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a slider from Munoz. Andres looking for 3 quick outs here in the top half of the 9th inning. Rangers got a break on that swing and a miss and a wild pitch. The stretch by Munoz and the 1-2 on the way to Peterson. It's a slider low and inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andres, a little tug of the bill of his cap. Quick turn to his left, keeping an eye on Berger at first base. He's not going to go anywhere. Right behind him is Connor Joe. Now the stretch. And the 2-2 on the way to Peterson. Swinging a ground ball foul up the first base side. And the count is still even at 2-2. Mariners with a big win last night. Looking for another one this afternoon before a big crowd on Little League Day. Munoz dangles that right arm way off to his side. Fingertips almost touching his toes. Now the stretch and the 2-2 again to Peterson. Swing and a miss. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Got a little ahead of myself, but it sure looked like he went. A strikeout for Andres Munoz, and there's 1 away for the Rangers here in the top half of the 9th inning. They went to the appeal down to the third base umpire, Rob Drake, and yeah, Peterson went around. 1 down. 1 aboard, and that'll bring up Josh Young. Young, a sacrifice fly and a run batted in the 7th. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Young, and a fastball zips in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Young has struck out. He has popped up to Young at second base. Outfield is straight away. Berger a lead at first, held on by Connor Joe. The stretch and the 0-1 pitch to Young. Swing and a miss and a sinker down and in. And the count is now 0-2. Munoz rubs a wrinkle into the baseball, off to the right side of the rubber. Now back on top of the hill, but Young backing away from home plate. And the Rangers can make it mighty interesting, which they did in the top of the 9th inning last night. Young back up there. Munoz looking for another strikeout. The stretch. And the 0-2 on the way to Young. Here she comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A fastball from Senior Smoke. Andres Munoz, a fastball at 99 blazing miles an hour. 2 outs for the Rangers here in the top of the 9th inning. Munoz, this is kind of strange if you're looking at this thing statistically. He has 3 strikeouts in the inning, but he has 2 outs. Berger struck out on the wild pitch that got away from Garver. Here we go. Here's Evan Carter. Fans on their feet. Pitch on the way to Carter, and it's low and outside with a slider for ball 1. So 1 on and 2 outs. Mariners 1 out away from their 10th win of the year. 1 out away from a series win here at home against Texas. Now the stretch and the 1-0 to Carter. Swinging a ground ball at first. Joe has it. Waves off Andres. Goes to the bag, and the ball game is over. The Mariners win it 5-2 this afternoon over the Texas Rangers. They win the series 2-1, and Andres Munoz, outstanding. 3 strikeouts in the top half of the 9th inning, but the final out on a ground ball out. Munoz picking up his 2nd save in as many days, his 3rd save on the year, and the guys out there at second base doing their happy dance. The Mariners won it 5-2 over the Texas Rangers. And what a job by Brian Wu this afternoon. The Mariners starter gave up a leadoff single on his first pitch to Brandon Nimmo, and then he retired 14, make it 15 in a row, 17 out of 18. He wins 6 scoreless innings, gave up a couple of runs in the 7th, but Brian Wu, outstanding, getting the win his first win of the 2026 season. Brian Wu goes to 1-2 on the year. His ERA for the season, 2.25. How about that? And the Mariners offensively hitting 3 home runs in this game. Rob Refsnyder, his first hit as a Mariner, a home run to lead off the bottom of the first. J.P. Crawford, a 2-run home run, his first home run of the season. And Randy Arozarena with his second home run of the year. That was a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 5th. The Mariners go on to win it. A final score of 5-2, and everybody going home happy from T-Mobile Park this afternoon on Little League Day. And man, it's great to see Andres Munoz get back up on the high horse and take care of the Rangers in the top half of the 9th inning. So the Mariners win it 5-2 this afternoon. Let's go down to the field.